Good afternoon, cabbies and cabettes. My name is Sean Paul Day and you are listening to London Taxi Radio. Where do I begin with this one? TAXIAPP. TAXIAPP was founded in 2016. It was initially funded by about 10 cabbies and subsequently funded by drivers paying £20 per month. Now, the idea of TAXIAPP came at a time when Get was treating drivers as though they were mere commodities and started chopping heavily into our fare structure. And TAXIAPP was all about reclaiming work and handing back control to the drivers. It was meant to be a cooperative, and it was even sold to drivers as having provisions in place to prevent drivers from assembling and agreeing to sell it to outside investors. It was seen, if nothing else, as a potential insurance policy for the trade. Now, fast forward to February the 14th, where there was a presentation to encourage drivers to vote to move TAXIAPP from a cooperative-based model over to an investor partnership. All's very well, I hear you say. Well, apparently it isn't. With TAXIAPP, the drivers were always meant to be the bottom line. And now suddenly it is set to be controlled by an outside investor who, along with 4 self-appointed directors and an MD, will collaboratively own the majority share. I say suddenly because it all seemed to come out of the blue, and shockingly it was orchestrated behind the backs of those who favoured the cooperative by people who are now pursuing a commercial venture. The problem I have is that we've seen this happen many times in our trade, haven't we? Initiatives that have been started by people with very good intentions, at some point hegemony at the top ensues and the concept is replaced by another concept that is more about being a vehicle to make money. And it seems as night follows day, this is what has happened with TAXIAPP. To me, what is important is clarity before agreement. When we disagree, it's important to see why we disagree and what those disagreements are. As far as TAXIAPP is concerned, clarity and discussion have been bypassed in its entirety. And not only that, those who favour the cooperative, who have been part of the TAXIAPP steering group since its inauguration, have been suspended or laid off. And even long-term subscribers claim that they have been muted or removed from forums simply for asking questions. It's not an exaggeration to say a lot of drivers feel as though they have been utterly betrayed. There is no doubt that those who are set to gain from the new investor partnership have handled this situation atrociously. Stymieing drivers' voices is not the way to go, and it's got to be said, poignant questions still remain unanswered. So I met up with Scott Walsey and Paul Harris, both steer group members from the beginning, to get the opposing take on what has happened to TAXIAPP. So join us to hear about TAXIAPP, the untold story.